College. I'm Mara Jetty.
And I'm Alex Hughes.
And this is Dean News Network.
So, Mara, one of my favorite news stories out of the last week is about Mel B announcing that she wants Taylor Swift, Adele, and Katy Perry as part of her surprise reunion of the Spice Girls.
Yes, this is due because Posh Spice, The Best Spice, Victoria Beckham will not be joining them on tour. And yeah, she was basically her replacements for Victoria Beckham.
That's not what I want. Well, what I really, tell me what you want. What you really want is Taylor Swift joining the Spice Girls.
Disagree. It should be Adele.
See, I think everyone would just start crying and falling asleep in the audience. I love Adele, but not falling asleep. I would say just crying because Adele's just sad. And I don't know. I just can't see Adele on the Spice Girls.
Yeah, but Taylor Swift isn't British. The rest of the Spice Girls are British, and so is Adele.
Well, what about Katy Perry?
She's not British, so she's not in it.
So it's just Adele.
Yeah.
I don't know. I disagree.
Okay, so moving on, the story behind the grape meme is taking over the internet. So the grape meme, I don't know if you've seen it.
I have not.
Okay, so it's basically this hospital in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
It surfaced from a YouTube video produced by this hospital in Illinois back in 2010, showcasing that their tools are so delicate it could peel a grape.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
We should have got a grape here and we could have
dissected
it here, but low budget. I think, that would have been fun.
Just like on Grey's Anatomy, because Grey's Anatomy did it first. So I'll stand by it. They did it first.
Well, you heard it here first. Breaking news.
Grey's Anatomy
started.
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
There you go.
Started
the grape meme.
There we go.
Yes.
So what my second favorite article, not that was a favorite, but it's pretty good. That Bank of America ATMs mistakenly dispense $100 bills instead of $10 bills in Houston.
Yes, no, I wish I was there.
Well, Houston had no problems with that.
Yes, the Bank of America down the block should take some notes.
Yes, they should.
Yes.
I should have made some money moves like Cardi B.
Okay, we're done. So now on to campus news. Just to remind you all, make sure you head down to the late night breakfast, which is taking place on December 10th from 10 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. This should be a great time to come down and de-stress from studying for your final exams. Breakfast will be served by the faculty and staff. In other news, here are some study tips that should help you when time comes to study for your final exams. First off, make sure you start reviewing early because if you cram last minute, you only remember around 50% of it. Another great tip is to create a study guide of all the notes that you have taken in that class. This should make it easier to look at the information in simpler form rather than getting overwhelmed from your notes. Just to remind you all now that the campus library is open for 24 hours.
That's just great. And I don't know if you know this, but the computers in the library are touchscreen.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Nope. Yeah. Fun fact, I haven't used the computers in the library.
Oh, what? Is that too good? You're too good for the library?
Just don't leave my room.
No. I guess we're at Harvard here.
Okay. We're done. Now in local news, the Bellingham Boy Scout troop will be selling Christmas trees until December 16th in the parking lot of Larry's at 264 Main Street. The tree sales will take place from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays. This should be the biggest fundraiser for the season for the troop. Make sure you head down to Franklin High School on Wednesday, December 5th for an amazing winter concert that is produced by the students. The concert will feature 200 student musicians, and the groups that are going to perform are wind, ensemble, band, orchestra, and chorus. If you would like to donate a $5 donation to the school, you can, but it's not required.
I can't wait for that. I'm going to try to get down there for the event. We'll see what happens, but, good for them.
Yeah. Yep. Now in international news, this just in, the European Union executive branch has proposed that they will cut off emissions to greenhouse gases by 2050. They did this because they were noticing from charts that global warming is on the rise, so they want to stop it when they can before it gets even worse. The European Parliament has released a statement on this saying, "We hope that this sends a positive message to the rest of the world so we can save our planet by reducing gases that are harming the planet." Meanwhile, in other international news, dozens of migrants are braving the freezing temperatures and snow to cross Croatia's border. The migrants are carrying sleeping bags and personal items while chanting "See you in Europe." They're heading to the BHAC because the migrants would rather be in a country that was in the European Union so they can be treated nicely than the poor people who are not being noticed.
And in sports news, we'll go right in. Dean College men's basketball are currently 4-2 with a record and have a long slate of games coming up before the semester break. The Bulldogs defeated Bridgewater State and University of England coming up right here before break and on campus at Pierre Gymnasium before the winter break. Don't miss out. Also, the NFL season is quickly winding down, and there's yet another action-packed full slate of games on tap this weekend. The hometown New England Patriots will welcome the Vikings into Foxborough for a 4:25 kickoff. Other key games going on that you may want to keep an eye on are the Chargers versus the Steelers and the Chiefs versus the Raiders, as both games will impact the Patriots' playoff seeding. And also a quick update on the other Boston sports teams standing through the early season. The Celtics, to many people's surprise, have struggled mightily, just keeping their heads above water with a record of 11-10. The Bruins have performed better than most expected through injuries and all, as they only have a 13-7 record. So not too great for the Bruins. Well, guys, that finishes DNN for this semester. I'm Alex Hughes.
And I'm Mara Jetty.
Have a great night.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your favorite Dylan here with the Student Spotlight here at DNN. Today I have a great guest with me. His name is Brendan Howe. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks for having me, Dylan.
Of course, it's my honor. Can you tell me your major and what grade you're in?
I'm a sophomore here at Dean. I'm a communications major.
Okay. What are some of the clubs and activities you do here around Dean?
Well, of course, I'm part of DNN. I'm a script writer for this great organization. I love to be part of this club. I thank them for bringing me on so late in the semester. It's been a great time so far.
That's great. That's great. That's great. I also heard you do some sports broadcasting. Is that correct?
That is correct. I do play-by-play for the Dean Sports Broadcasting team as well with a bunch of other students here on campus.
Okay, that sounds like a blast. I know you have some experience outside of campus, though, with play-by-play broadcasting, and that was actually with the Bedford Bay Sox, excuse me. Can you tell me a little bit about that internship?
Yeah, so that was actually this summer I completed that internship down in New Bedford with the Bay Sox, and Tammy Silvera, who's actually one of the softball coaches here and also a professor, she reached out to me and said, hey, are you interested in doing this? And of course, as a freshman, I didn't really expect to get an opportunity that quickly, but I'm definitely grateful that she did reach out as quickly as she did, and so I jumped all over it, and it was a blast this summer. It was amazing, probably one of the best summers of my entire life.
Yeah, there's one thing about learning it in the classroom, then it's another thing actually, experiencing it in the work field.
Yeah.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from that experience?
There's a lot more preparation than I thought. About 4 or 5 hours every day. And
wow.
So, if you want to do it, you got to be committed. And I learned that pretty early on. And I struggled in my first couple broadcasts because I wasn't fully prepared. And I realized, okay, whoa, it's kind of a big wake-up call, kind of a slap in the face. Say, if you're going to do this, you got to do it right.
Yeah. And I think that's the important thing about us communication majors here at Dean is you really got to put in the work and know your stuff. And I think Brendan's a great example of putting in that hard work. And really, he's an example of some of the great results here you can have at Dean. Now, thinking more towards like your personal life and perhaps your family, I heard your aunt actually works for Tom Brady. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
She does. She works over at TB12, the TB12 Center at Patriot Place. Funny story, actually, I've never met Tom Brady, even though my aunt works for him.
Dang, man.
I know. Over the summer, I actually went to training camp a couple times, and I went into TB12 after practice to try and catch him, and I missed him by about 5 minutes each time I went in. He sneaked out the back door. I just missed him. So, I mean, hopefully this summer will be.
Yeah.
I'll strike gold.
Time's ticking on that clock for Brady, but he's killing Father Time right now. Father Time ain't doing too well.
Absolutely. Father Time could take its first loss.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Speaking of the Patriots players, I know you haven't met Tom, but I've heard you met Gronk, actually. Maybe you drove him to Boston. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I didn't drive him to Boston. I was in the car when he drove to Boston.
Okay.
My mom, my uncle runs a car show called World of Wheels in Boston every year. It's a pretty famous car show. I'm not sure if anybody's heard of it, but they do celebrities every year, and they brought Gronk in his rookie year in 2010, and he didn't have a ride to the show that day. So my uncle called my mom at like 7 in the morning. She was like, hey, can you pick up Gronk? And we're like, what? like, yeah, sure. Like, where? So, we went to his apartment, talked to his agent, picked him up, and drove him into Boston. We talked about college basketball for about 3 hours.
3 hours?
Pretty good time, yeah.
Yeah. Well, since you kind of know Gronk a little bit, at least from his rookie year, can you tell us a little bit like about him and talking to him?
He's goofy. you see him in interviews all the time. With, he likes to laugh and have fun and make jokes with the reporters and all that. He's just like that in person too. I'd like to emulate him if I could. I mean, if I could play professional sports, and he has as much fun doing it as anybody has doing their job. So, yeah, he's definitely a fun-loving guy, and he's easy to approach as well, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, a guy who's like 6'6", like over 250, might seem a little intimidating, but well, he's quite the friendly guy, and he's quite the worker, and he's very smart as well.
Definitely.
Now, I found that you're very fluent here talking, and I think part of that is because you actually are the own host of a talk show here on the Power 88 Radio, Talk of the Town. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's true. I am actually. It's called Talk of the Town on Power 88 WGAO every Sunday morning, 10 to 12. With actually, some of you guys might know him, Alex Fuse, DNN personality. Great guy.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's been a fun show. We thought of the idea early on in the semester. We went to our professor Vic Michaels and asked him, if we got the green light. He set us up perfectly, and we've been doing it every Sunday since.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I've actually tuned in for a little bit. It's quite.
Have you?
2 hours a week. I don't tune in for all of it, but
Yeah.
I do enjoy what I tune into, and I'd actually recommend it, for anybody watching to really check it out.
I usually win most of the arguments.
Of course you do. Just kidding. Now, I also heard you landed this new gig with the full press coverage for writing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Alex and I actually interviewed one of the administrators of the website, Michael Debate, on our show a couple weeks back, and he ended up reaching out to me a couple weeks later because he caught hold of some of my writing, and he said, would you be interested in joining my site? And I was like, well, yeah, sure. I mean, he sent me all the details and set me up, and I've been writing a couple articles a week, so, we'll see where that goes. I'm excited about it, though. I just started up my blog three years ago just for fun. I didn't expect to make anything out of it, but
yeah, now you are.
Yeah, definitely. It's a career that hopefully I'll be chasing for the next couple of years that I'm here.
Yeah, and I think that really shows like hard work and all, because you were talking about writing your sports blog before, which I believe is Boston Sports Barrage, right?
Correct.
And you've been writing that for 3 years, so that really shows hard work. And with that hard work comes a lot of dedication. I think you truly really stand for that.
Yeah.
Is there any advice you give to any freshmen currently here about working hard and getting your dreams done and stuff?
It really depends on what you want to do. I think if you're going to do something, you want to do it right, and you have to set your mind to it. I think that's with anything that goes for anything, any club, any sport, any profession, whatever it is. But do it every day. Practice every day. Perfect your craft, and put your own spin on it. Be you. Be your own personality. You know what I mean? Like, writing for me is something that I enjoy, but it's also something I want to make a career out of. And you have to develop your own style, and you can't just copy what everybody else does. That's not going to work. So I think for me, trying to find the balance between professionalism and my own style is probably the hardest part. But I think advice I would give is just do it every day, and try and put your own spin on it.
Yeah. Well, I really like that advice, and for anybody watching right now, I'd highly advise to check out maybe some of his stuff, like the Talk of the Town, the full press coverage, his writing. He actually writes for the Patriots, which is very, very cool, as he's a big-time Pats fan. So, that's all the time we have here today, but I'd like to thank you for watching, and up next we're going to have some movie news with my guys Fish and Chips. Thank you very much, guys.
What's up, what's happening, and what's going on, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Fish and Chips Movie Reviews. I'm Matt Fish Fiscioni.
And I'm Sam Chips Cohen.
And welcome to the movie talk show where we dig deep into the movies that we've already seen before. We will give you our full reviews on those movies, and we will keep you up to date on some of the upcoming movies that will be released. So thank you all for joining us for the last episode of 2018. Sam, we're getting so old. It's the last episode.
Yeah, I mean,
What the hell's going on here?
I think through my hair, I might be getting a little bit of some white hairs.
Yeah, I mean, if you look like, my hair's practically gone, but it doesn't matter. It's actually, it's actually very funny because since this is the third episode, 3 is actually my lucky number. So
Really, it is.
yeah, actually.
Well, we're not here to talk about his lucky numbers or whatever is going on with him. We're here to talk about movies. And on Thanksgiving, we had something to be very thankful for. Mm-hmm. And that movie would have to be, it's going to be the new, the teaser trailer for The Lion King, the new CGI animated of Lion King. So they showed us, so we got a little bit of a sneak peek into what the new Lion King movie is going to look like. And so far, looks pretty good. And the actors, including bringing back James Earl Jones, is the best thing about this, because it's basically Mufasa playing Mufasa again.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun
Yeah.
to see this. And
Yeah. And to be quite honest, I have to say that his voice is it's kind of similar to like Morgan Freeman's, but I would have to say that his is like way better.
But a king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun.
yeah, this is gonna be one heck of a movie.
Yeah.
And it's gonna have some new people instead of the original cast. And as of right now, we have no idea what Scar looks like. Hopefully he doesn't look that bad.
Oh, definitely no.
yeah. I don't think it's gonna look that bad.
He'll look very badass in the movie, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. No, but when they showed that, that's the whole scene with the wildebeest going down, I was like, oh, I know this scene. This scene's gonna make me cry so badly. It's gonna be something. So I don't know. Before seeing it, I was coming into it very like I don't want to see this. Like after seeing what they did for the live adaptation for Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book, I was like feeling like it's not gonna really be as better as the original, but it's just gonna be something there.
Right.
So I'm kind of like I was a little skeptical when I saw what they were doing, and I'll probably have to say it looks like something I might go see.
Definitely. As a matter of fact, it's actually very funny because over the course of the 2 years or 3 years, we've already seen a bunch of live-action Disney movies. We've already seen Beauty and the Beast. We're already getting
Mulan.
Yes, we're getting Mulan. Thank you for that. We're getting Dumbo, and
Oh,
now
yeah.
we're getting Lion King.
That's gonna be
It's very funny because I feel like the Lion King is definitely going to be one of those movies where I'm going to be looking forward to this year.
Yeah.
Because 2018, Venom was my favorite movie to go see. And then I'll probably say that 2019 is going to be the movie for me to go see.
I think so. This is gonna be like that kind of movie that I'm gonna be very interested to go see. I'm probably gonna go in there with not a lot of let's see, what's the word I'm trying to use? I'm not going in there with knowing that it's gonna be fantastic. I'm feeling like I should be optimistic about like maybe it's gonna be not as better as the original, but I'm gonna go in there going.
It's going to be like equally similar though.
I'm hopeful. I'm just gonna be hopeful that they don't screw with the things that have been good in the original and things that have been slow, that have been quick.
Definitely.
So so if you're very interested in the new Lion King movie and you've been a Lion King fan, that's been a childhood of yours, I would recommend maybe go seeing it this summer, in the summer of 2019.
Oh, definitely. I would definitely recommend the movie.
So now we go on to movies that some of us have seen, and you have seen a movie pretty recently.
Yeah, so it's actually very funny because my aunt and a family friend of mine, they actually took me to go see the movie, and they took me to go see the movie Green Book that actually came out last week.
I actually don't know about the Green Book. I've seen the trailers, but like, what is the movie really about?
So basically, the Green Book is about this Italian man. His name is Tony, and he lives in New York. He's trying to find a job because his old one is in renovation. So he gets this call from a Dr. Shirley, who happens to be a piano player, and he then says that he's going on tour, and so he wanted Tony to be his personal driver, and it's going to be a 2-month tour, and it's happening in the South, and along the way they develop this very close bond, a very close friendship, and of course they run into some problems because this movie actually takes place, I would say either in the early or mid 60s, but of course they're going to run into problems with like racial slurs
and like racial tensions.
Yeah, racial tensions.
Yeah.
But I was actually very satisfied with this movie. I felt like, I felt the emotion and the intensity within each character. To me, Tony was my favorite because knowing me, I'm Italian, and plus he's an Italian man, so so I had to relate to that in the way that he talks and to where he came from. So yeah, and I honestly love Dr. Shirley. He like the actor who plays him. He was in Moonlight, and he was absolutely
was?
yeah. He was.
Oh,
He was, yeah.
That makes me want to go see it more.
Yeah, and he was fantastic in it. And all the characters were good in it. So for my rating, I would give this movie a 8.5 out of 10. So
I wouldn't really give this anything because I haven't seen it, but after hearing it, I might go see it in theaters. It's still in theaters, is it?
yeah, it's still in theaters.
I will definitely go out to go see it. Before we end this, we have to talk about something that's sad that's happened in the TV universe, and that has to go with the creator of SpongeBob, also by the name of Steven Hillenburg. He has died on Tuesday at the age of 57 to ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. And for anybody, also another person just to put out who also had Lou Gehrig's disease or ALS was also Stephen Hawking. So that puts in the kind of picture of what he had. But anyway, it's kind of sad to hear that the creator of SpongeBob is no longer with us. But then again, I wouldn't be that sad because I've been given a SpongeBob SquarePants, and I believe everybody who has been a Nickelodeon person has watched SpongeBob SquarePants, has seen a lot of the great episodes, and has even seen the first movie, not the second one. I mean, if you saw the second one, good for you.
I saw the second one.
Well, how was it?
I thought it was good. I mean,
It wasn't better than the first.
it definitely wasn't like the first,
Thank
but
you, like- I'm a
for what it
goofy
was,
goofer.
yeah. I mean, for what it was, the second one was pretty good.
Yeah.
But honestly, growing up as SpongeBob, growing with SpongeBob, it has definitely brought a huge part of my childhood. And for that, Steven, we Fish and Chips like to thank you for that opportunity for that.
And also, just want to thank you for bringing us the Hasselhoff. I'm a
The
goofy
Hasselhoff.
goofer. Sweet Victory. I won an award.
That was my song.
Yes. Do you want to sing
and
that
that
right?
still is
Dude,
my song.
Can we sing that right now? Come on.
We don't have. As a matter of fact, we are all out of time. Sorry,
Aw,
Sam.
man.
But thank you so much for watching. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
And join us next year for the Fish and Chips movie reviews.
Sweet Victory.
Well, DNN fans, this is our last week before the semester ends, and we have a very special treat for you. We have everyone here for the most part. We will be breaking down the very special NFL predictions segment to wrap up the DNN season per se. So if you want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah. My name is Matt. I'm also known as Fish and Chips.
Brendan?
And my name is Dylan.
And I'm Alex Fuse as well. And so, guys, my first question for you would have to be, Matt, we'll start off with you. We'll kick it off, per se. If we're doing it NFL style,
All right.
What's your big team to go to the playoffs and potentially get very deep into the playoffs?
So my team obviously is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've been a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan throughout my entire life. But if we're gonna go realistically, it's actually very hard because there has been a lot of good teams this year that has been very impressive so far. You got the Chiefs, got the Rams, you have the Saints, and then you also have some other teams like the Chargers or the Bears. So I think for me, I would have to say, for me, it would be a tie between the Chiefs or the Saints, to make it into the playoffs.
Bring up the Saints, and they're just on fire.
Yeah, I know.
There's no stopping Drew Brees right now.
Yeah, I know. He's been setting records throughout this entire season, and his overall performance has been absolutely stunning. So.
Well, I love the Fish and Chips NFL preview.
Yeah.
So, Dylan, we'll kick it off to you.
All right.
Kick it back to you, I should say.
Aha, nice
I see what I
one.
did there. Talk about the spotlight.
Yeah.
So, what about you? Same question to you. NFL team that you think can go deep into the playoffs?
Well, I think there's a couple. We have to talk about, the top two teams in each division. We have to talk about the Saints, who are on fire, lost their first game to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but ever since have been hot, putting up like over 35 points per game. They're doing really well. And also the Chiefs are the number 1 team right now in the AFC. The Patriots are behind them by 1 game. We'll see how that shakes out. But right now the Chiefs have home field advantage, and playing in the the cold there in Kansas City is something very, very hard to do. Patrick Mahomes has been playing out of his mind for a second-year player, so I'm very excited to see them. But overall, I really think the Saints are going to win it all, mainly because of the fact Drew Brees has been setting an all-time NFL record in passer rating in one season and completion percentage in one season. That's truly incredible. I think this is finally his time, Alex, to finally win his MVP award.
We'll see what happens. Most valuable player, Brendan, send it to you now, my co-host on Talk of the Town. What would you have to say? I think I can already predict who you are going to say, but NFL team and deep into the playoffs, who do you got?
Well, you guys both touched upon the number 1 teams in each conference, the Saints and the Chiefs, and rightfully so. I mean, all due respect, they're great teams. Patrick Mahomes, great quarterback. I think he probably should win the MVP if Drew Brees doesn't. It should be one of those two. But you guys failed to mention the New England Patriots, and I think anytime you guys talk, I know you're a Steelers fan. It's gonna hurt you to the core for me to say this, but I think you have to look at the New England Patriots, and you can't write them off. I understand they've had their struggles this season, and Tom Brady hasn't looked like he has in years past. I get all that. And then, that's going to come with age. That's natural. But Bill Belichick has always found a way, and Mike Tomlin has always found a way to mess it up.
That's true.
And I think going forward into the playoffs, there could be a couple surprise teams. I think the Chargers are somebody to look out for, as well as the Bears with Mitch Trubisky. I think they've played much surpassed their expectations coming into this season. I don't think anybody expected either one of them to be 8-3 or where they are currently right now. There are a couple of teams that I think are powerhouses that I don't know if the Patriots will be able to touch. But as far as the AFC goes, I think the Patriots are going to take it. I think the Chiefs, Andy Reid, his clock management skills, horrible. Absolutely garbage. I think that the Patriots are the team to beat in the AFC regardless of what the standings say.
And I'll give my 2 cents if any of you actually care. Anyways,
Of course we do, Alex.
So I'm a Patriots fan, but as Brendan's called me the most pessimistic Patriot fan out there, I really don't pick favorites in the NFL. And you're not going to like me after this, but I think the Patriots are not going to get any further than the first round. I think it's either going to be the Saints or the Rams, and I think there's just no way, if it comes down to the Chiefs or the Patriots, there's no way the Patriots make it past the Chiefs, especially if it's an Arrowhead.
Yeah.
So just knowing that, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, Rob Gronkowski, I will see ya. Great season if you're a Patriots fan, not what you exactly want. In my own prediction, and I'll say this right now, Patriots won't get any further than the first round, but we'll send it back over to Matt as part of the Fish and Chips movie reviews. One of my favorite segments, no offense. Super Bowl prediction.
So we all saw the game with the Chiefs and the Rams, and obviously that was a very historical game. Both teams scoring 50-plus points each to their team. So for me, I would have to go with the obvious. I think it's going to be Chiefs is definitely going to be in it. I think they're going to go against the Rams in what should say a classic rematch game at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think just knowing that you can have a great game between both of those teams, I think that just knowing that the NFL would be hopefully excited about that matchup. Brendan, Super Bowl prediction.
I said at the beginning of the season, I'll say it again. Patriots and Saints was my prediction week 1, and I think that's going to happen again. I think Tom Brady and Drew Brees is the matchup everybody wants to see, the two aging quarterbacks coming toward the end of the line. I can't wait.
We'll see what happens. And Dylan, or Super Bowl predictions.
Well, there's a couple teams for me, right? I think the Chiefs will come out of the AFC because it's in Arrowhead. I think if they have to travel to the Gillette, Patriots really have a great shot at making it to their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl appearance. As for the NFC, I really, really like the Saints. But if I were to give a sleeper pick, and I'm not picking this, I'd have to go with the Bears. And now there's 2 players on their defense that I'm loving right now. One is Khalil Mack, who was traded, from the Oakland Raiders, and he's been absolutely dominating forced fumble-wise, getting pressure on the quarterback. But somebody undervalued, not really talked about as much, Eddie Jackson, the free safety for the Chicago Bears. Let me tell you what he does for that defense. He reminds me of Earl Thomas right now. He's a 25-year-old, and his ability to cover both sides of the field, and he allows their defensive backs, such as Prince Makumera and Kyle Kyle Fuller, excuse me, to play very, very aggressively, and that's why they cause so many turnovers, because they can play aggressively on a ball, and he'll clean up if, that aggression doesn't pay out. So I really think they're a great team, but nobody can stop the Saints right now. Their rushing defense is phenomenal. They've been shutting down Carson Wentz. Matt Ryan did well in garbage time, but he hasn't been doing well as well. So I got to give it to the Saints. Nobody's shown me how to stop them offensively, even in their one loss.
Yeah, we'll see if the Saints can go marching in. So that's all for a very special segment here to wrap up a great D News Network season. Once again, I'm Alex Fuse.
I'm Matt.
I'm Brendan Howe.
And I'm Dylan.
And once again, thank you for tuning in throughout the entire school year for D News Network. Once again, I'm Alex Fuse, and I will be seeing you very soon. Thanks for watching.
Hello, I'm Addison Graham, and I'm here with the newest in Hollywood and entertainment news. First, let's take a look at Hollywood's newest couple, Jaden Smith and Tyler, the Creator.
Better than ever, 'cause your umbrella. Sun is beaming on me like headlights beaming on Bambi.
It all started at the 2018 Camp Flog Non Carnival on November 11th. Smith paused his performance and started saying, Tyler, the Creator is the best friend in the whole world, and I love him so darn much. And I want to tell you all something. Tyler doesn't want to say, but Tyler is my darn boyfriend. Fans were uncertain at first if the statement was just a joke until Jaden took to Twitter and posted, "Yep, at Tyler the Creator, I told everyone you can't deny it now." Even with their fans still skeptical. So Smith went on to say, "I recently said that Tyler the Creator is my boyfriend, and that's true. Just so you know." I read this, and honestly, I'm really happy for the two of them. Both of them have a huge following, and putting them together means that they're going to have that much more support. So, best of luck to the new couple. Speaking of relationships, let's talk about Justin and Hailey Bieber. The couple have apparently moved back to the Biebers' homeland, the far, far away country of Canada. The newlyweds have taken to Ontario to start their life as a married couple, and some think that there might be a new member joining the family soon. Rumors were swirling that Justin and Hailey were trying for a child. However, in an interview with Vogue, Hailey set the record straight, saying as much as she wants to have kids, it's not going to happen anytime soon. No matter what, it looks like the couple are enjoying their time together, and I look forward to more cutesy Instagram posts about how much they are in love with each other. And moving on, the iconic Amanda Bynes graced us all with her cover on the Paper magazine for its December issue. The article started off by talking about Bynes' studies at the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, or FIDM, getting her Associates of Art in Merchandise Product Development. From there, she wasted no time talking about the darker days of her career, her struggles with addiction. She shared how much it affected her, stating, "I'm really ashamed and embarrassed with the things I said. I can't go back in time, but if I could, I would." She went on to share that she's been sober for almost 4 years and that she's back on the track to success. She ended the interview by talking about her hopes of getting back into acting, saying she wants to re-enter the business, quote, "kind of the same way I did as a kid, which is with excitement and hope for the best," end quote. She hoped to try it all and not limit herself to one type of role or production. After reading the article, I can say for sure I'm so excited to see where Amanda is going for her acting future. As a child, she was one of my favorite personalities, and her role in She's the Man has always been one of my favorite characters of her because it was so funny.
Take that off and whatever that is, and you stick it right in. It absorbs right up.
I know that no matter what she ends up doing, she will excel and once again rise to the spotlight she was once in years before. And that's the hottest in Hollywood. I'm Addison Graham. Thanks for joining me.